dogs have completely just wrecked my Adramyscus. I don't want to dwell on it too much. I'm obviously a bit worried now about my other plants, especially on the floor. Here's the first culprit. It's you. Look what you've done. Instead of crying on video, I'll just do it in the shower later this evening. I've had to cut back the flower. I didn't have to do much cutting back on the stem that has already snapped. Its main stem is gone. It's lost about 60-70% of its leaves. Savage, mate. Yeah, there really is no point getting too upset about it. It happens, especially with animals. Glad it wasn't anything poisonous, just in case she did end up chewing it. I feel quite confident this was Lola's work. I did end up repotting it into this very bespoke Alice in Wonderland mug. Yes, it does have drainage holes before I get spammed with hate. I'm pretty confident it should be alright. I'm just a bit upset about its form. I'm gonna leave it in the kitchen, up high, away from dogs. Hopefully 2020 will be a lot better than what the end of 2019 has been for it. There has to be a silver lining somewhere. So we're going to do some propagation of my favourite succulent. My favourite succulent, Adramyscus. Let's get cracked on. I'll see you guys in a sec. Right, I don't think I would be too jazzed if I just lost a small handful of leaves. To lose that on one plant, whatever. The problem is, I have to do something with these, otherwise this is just a waste. Whenever I'm working on a big set like this, I tend to want to categorize and thin out what looks viable, what looks more viable, what I don't think is going to grow at all. What I'm really looking for are intact leaves. It includes everything, all the way up to where the leaf joins onto the stem. So, bad pile, viable. As for cuttings of Adramyscus, and this does count for Crassula as well, I'm probably going to need to let this dry, but I do want to pinch a few more leaves, especially this lower set. This can go straight in the bin. And we can move on to the next stage. Right, 2 days have passed and the leaves have sealed up. They all look relatively dry. This really doesn't feel well. It almost looks like Lola's had another go at it. You can't keep ruining every video. How does she get up to these high places? Here are 2 juvenile specimens which I grew from leaves back in 2018. It's quite clear the difference in growth. I think this is going to be a good benchmark. It's growing about 3 multiple trunks at the moment. So that's the aim, to get one of these into looking like that around this time, 2020. I'm going bird's eye view because of how I plan to propagate this. Well, there you have it. I was going to propagate these Cooperi hybrids, but look, I'm out of space. I don't want to cram as much as I possibly can, that's not the point. The bag itself I got when I bought a new pillowcase, but I'm sure you can get creative. As simple as that. Right, so I'm going to stack this, find a place somewhere for it, get it turned on, and we'll see in about a month's time where we stand. I started this episode thinking it would be be a silver lining. And the only silver lining I've seen so far is the silver in the mould, which was riddled all over my propagation tank. I'm not here to propagate mould. You win some, you lose some, but for me, you just lose it all. I'm just surprised. I'm just honestly surprised. I've used that crate method to propagate before with Crassula, and I've never had a problem with mould. The first issue probably being is I put too much. I don't want to cram as much as I possibly can, that's not the point. I think I just went too big, too ghetto. So what I've done is take out all of the leaves which were rooting and not rooting, thrown the ones which weren't rooting in the bin, and to the ones which were rooting, throwing out a bit of, or at least scabbed over and hardened off. I've put them in these tiny little pots and I'm just going to leave them out. I just didn't want to waste all the soil if I was going to have to plant them up individually. Again, I know people would want to group them and then split them after rooting, but these guys have rooted, they've just had a really lame start. I don't know how to cap this video. Where do you cap this video off? I messed up. Maybe that's it. I am really eager to show you all my Adromiscus collection, but because it's all scattered around the house and I'm like 60% lazy, I ain't gonna go gather them all up to be like, woo! That's it. That's all I've got to say about leaving. I haven't taught anybody anything today. I've just moaned about my dog. But that is all I'm gonna do. That's all I've got the energy for today. I hope it goes without saying, but if you like our free videos, you should freely subscribe. But look, I'm not forcing anybody, and a lot of that is to do with the fact that I don't know how to do all this flashy subscribe here, you know, all of this jazz stuff. I'm just gonna leave that to your imagination. So yeah, thank you for watching. We will be tracking, we'll always be tracking the progress of my Adromiscus. I'm gonna do a bigger, more in-depth show. For now, it's just a little hey, a little low. Thanks for watching.